Hey, it's MK, and I am here with Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. And this is the sketch that we will be, that I will be creating with today. And the sketch was created by Darla Weber. So the first thing that I saw on this particular sketch were all of these little circles. And they reminded me of the stencil set that I have received from, or that I purchased. I didn't receive it. I purchased it from Scrapping Reflections, who is Sandy Reversky. Here on YouTube, she is Steak Goddess. So all of those things are her. And they just are inner bits of circles. And I like the fact that they're not all the same. Some of them are skinny, some of them are thick, just like in the sketch. So I was just showing you guys that they are from her shop, which is Scrapping Reflections, but she is Steak Goddess here on YouTube. If you guys want to go check her out, because she uses her stencils all the time. I have two photos that I plan on using on this black base. And then I picked out a couple of frames, or I should say slimline rectangles from my Groundhog Day layout, as well as all of these clocks and gears and things. They also came from my Groundhog Day layout, and that is the video that you will see me making these, not really making them, but coloring them to get the color that I got. I also have this punch by Stampin' Up! That I already took some green scraps and went ahead and punched a bunch, and then I plan on inking them with frayed burlap oxide ink. And then later I bring in a little bit of forest moss because they weren't turning the colors that I was expecting them to. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is use some gloss spray in Gilt by Dina Wakley, as well as two stickles that I have. One is called Solar Flare, which is really hard to read on this on the bottle. It's just the way that it's printed is really, really hard. And I'm showing you, I found the title, but I just don't know how to show it to you guys. And then the next one is called Starshine. So I'm going to use both of those. And I'm using this plastic skinny spatula because it will help me control the glitter gel a little bit better than using something wider. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and spread out my circles. And I was just making sure that where I had them, they weren't going to get too much covered up by the photos. And I'm going to cut the photos down. Now, I sped this up quite a bit, and I mean like 20 times it's supposed to be. I don't know how exactly it's to say that, just because of the fact that I wanted to show you guys the entire process, but it was so lengthy, I'm not sure I can talk that much. I know I probably have done it before, but it was just very lengthy. So I'm going around the inside of each of the circles, the inside and the outside, but trying to leave that gap of black in between the two little openings inside the intertwining circles. And then just trying to get that glitter flare, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with the Gilt spray. Now, while that's drying, I'm going to go and work on my leaves, and this is the frayed burlap, and I'm just not liking the lighter color. I like it on the dark because it kind of dulled the dark down and gave it a little bit of softness to it, but on the brighter color, I really, really did not like it. It was just too brown, and I was afraid that this layout was going to be too dark, and I really didn't want it to be a, dark and dreary layout. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out Forest Moss, which was just sitting on my desk. No reason whatsoever except that easy convenience. And go ahead and I actually already had a sponge with Forest Moss on it. Put that on my applicator, and then, I'm going to town painting or sponging my leaves in Forest Moss, and I like these a lot better. Okay, so now that my background has dried, I'm going to bring back these circles, and I am going to take squeezed lemonade and mustard seed. Now, on the outside circle, I'm just going to use squeezed lemonade all by its little lonesome. And color in the circle that I created with my glitter gel. And then after that, the inner ring is going to be a mix of mustard seed and squeezed lemonade. because I wanted them to be slightly different. I did not want them to all be the same color. So I want to give it a little bit of difference. Now, all of these do shift on me and whatnot because I keep pushing my magnets out of the way just enough to where they don't hold down anymore. My fault. And then the third ring, which I do kind of mess up on, is just plain mustard seed. And I was going in with what I thought I needed, and it was a little too small. And I thought, where is that other circle? So I finally found it over on my right, where all the other circles were over on my left. I have no idea why. So I'm going to go ahead and use mustard seed to fill in my entire circle. And I'm not too worried about the overlap down at the very bottom because my photo and all my other elements will be covering that up. But that is what it looks like. I am so super excited, you guys. It turned out amazing. I really like how it turned out. I pulled a scrap of yellow. I don't even know. I think it's called Honey from Close to My Heart. And that is what I'm going to back my photos in. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim them up for you guys and then take my distress tool and distress the edges before I glue them all down. So now I'm ready to glue everything down, but because some of my gears, well, actually all of my gears are chipboard, they're going to be pretty thick. So my bottom photo is actually going to be popped up on foam. But I don't do that until after I get my layout all situated. Now these large rectangles are, well, the slimline rectangles, they're not really large, are representing the tags that are going along the right side and the bottom right in that corner. That's what they're going to represent. And then I'm not even going to bother with a title because my picture has the Chollar mine. It has it on it twice. And so I thought, well, that's kind of the title. And since yesterday I did it about the Chollar Mansion, and then a couple months ago, actually I think last year, I did another layout that showed us actually in this mine. And so I was trying to replicate that design. So that's where I got my colors from, is because this is the entrance to the mine. And so it's a companion page, even though they're several months apart from each other creative wise. So I was just trying to get it to match. But then I decided, since my yellow turned out to be a little bit more green, that's when I brought in the leaves. Just to give it a little bit more, even though is absolutely no greenery whatsoever in the photos. It's something. When in doubt, always add gears and leaves. Just saying. So I'm going to take some of these littler gears and have them scattering up and down in my L shape, which is just pretty much the design of the layout. So I kept to this layout pretty close. I didn't use tags and I didn't use flowers, but I did use a round object that represents the flowers, and then of course a rectangular object that represents the tags. And then I love my rings. And they remind me of the tunnels that you walk into in a mine, especially with the candle lights glaring on them. And so that's pretty much the representation that I wanting to go for. All right, you guys, so that is my layout for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly had a blast making my background for this layout. I love working on black cardstock. I absolutely do. Darla, thank you so much for such a wonderful sketch to work with. I really did enjoy playing around with your sketch and getting it to work for my photos. Be sure to check out the links down below. One is for the Facebook group for Christy's Beautiful Life, where you'll find all of the sketches. And the other one is for the playlist for those of us that are recording our process of doing these layouts. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.